Shanette. I'm Gracie.
And I'm Damon. Welcome to today's video. Game face.
So today we get to share with you guys our pregnancy journey.
Yup, our pregnancy journey.
It's been a highly requested video. People want to know how we found out we were pregnant.
Inside the joke.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How we told him, how I told him I was pregnant, and just basically how the journey has been so far.
Yeah.
So, one morning we went to visit a couple friend of ours.
Yeah.
They have a son about 2.5, almost turning 3 actually, but then he was like 2 years old.
This baby is a seer, you guys.
I know, yeah, but he's really friendly with me. But for some reason that day he didn't want my stories, so I'm like, Anyway, I didn't think into it because I was just like babies. The second time he comes, he actually stands there, laughs, and then runs. So I'm like, what's happening? Then the dad starts laughing and tells Shanette, you guys need to get tested. Yeah. So we're like, tested for what?
Very specific. Msichana kona mimba ya kijana.
So we're like, what? First, because we're just, it's one of those things you don't expect someone to just tell you out of the blues.
Yeah.
So we're like, tested? Okay. And then he's like, you're pregnant with that boy. We're like, what?
Imagine.
So we brushed it off. We just laughed. We're like, ha ha ha, okay, whatever. Then I started dozing. So when we're leaving, that guy was like, Shanette, you guys need to go and get tested. Yeah. So we're like, okay. So we came with our skeptical selves, bought our test, and got home. So I did the test and left it in I literally ran out of the bathroom and came and told him, please go check. Like, I don't think I want to see. Not because I didn't want to find out, but I don't know why I told you. I actually, I cannot explain my train of thought when I was telling him to go look at the test. So now what happened when you went to
So I get to the bathroom and I find the test is on the floor, right?
Yeah.
And then it has 2 red lines. So I'm still in the space of what does this mean? Because I don't know. So I picked the manual. Your karatasi ya pregnancy test. So I started Nikona. If it has 2 red lines, then that means that you are pregnant.
It's positive.
So now what does this mean? Because I was like in that state, in the state. Like, I don't want to say shock, but I was okay. I can't be shocked because I knew what I was doing. But
you were in shock still.
Yes, I was in shock because I was like, okay.
Are you really pregnant? Is it real?
I'm going to be a father. Then I'm there, then I'm like, should I prank animal be a donor ball so that I make it exciting or something like that? Like, I didn't know what was happening. Then after it took her 5 or 7 minutes, she's like, yo, what are you doing? Then I'm like, after duvet, we just want a movie or something. Then she was like, no.
Yeah, that story was very not making sense. Yeah. Like, kwani duvet inachimbwa, like what? It wasn't making sense.
So she came to the bathroom. I had the test in my hand, but I was still in the state of shock. She's like, let me see. Then she grabbed it. Then she looked at it. It was red. Then she went off, you guys. She started jumping, running around the house. Oh my God, we're pregnant. This is really happening. We can't tell anyone.
And then I'm like, but I can't keep a secret.
It was exciting. So she was there, so excited.
Yeah, if we're brave enough, we will.
Me, I didn't have an expression. I was just there like, what did I do? Did I get someone's daughter pregnant?
You're more like your wife, honey.
Yeah.
It's not just someone's daughter, it's your wife. So I ran around the house like a crazy woman, and we're like, guy. But guess what? We were in denial, so we decided to go for a blood test.
Yeah.
So we went for the blood test. We don't know how to read the test.
Yeah.
So we decided to go see the gynecologist. So at our first appointment, we told him this is the blood test. We had done a urine test and it was positive. And then he's like, yeah, you people, doubting Thomas. Mpaka mkaenda kulipia blood test. We're like, imagine we just had to be sure.
Yeah.
And then now I remember just sharing with him how I don't have twins.
Yeah.
And he was very skeptical. He was like, those things don't just happen.
They're very rare.
So he called us. He told us to come in after 2 weeks for a 6 weeks appointment, and then
do a scan.
To do the scan and find out what exactly is happening.
So we went to the scan room after 6. So the doctor, whoever
sonographer.
Oh, sonographer. Oh, that one. That guy.
It actually makes that sound.
And it looks like you people are having twins. I'm like,
and
what?
I know, and the funny thing is,
I think that's when it hit me like ukweli, like ngoja mazee kitu ina happen.
ni real.
And then akaeka ile place ya kusikia heartbeat, which is my favorite part of scans.
Yeah.
So nasikia kutu, kutu, kutu. And then hiyo side ingine kutu, 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 kutu.
And it's
So, like,
interesting
yeah.
because at that point, God is so interesting. Those babies look like dots, like,
Yeah, but they have a heartbeat.
but they have a heartbeat.
I
So
know.
we're like, what? And I remember screaming and crying. As in, me, my emotions were all over the place.
Yeah. Mimi ndo nilikuwa sijielewi.
Him, he was blank, like,
Yeah.
I'm looking for a reaction. Why are you not reacting?
No, I think for me, I needed time to digest it because, like, growing up, like my father and my mother had a very unique relationship, you know. Like, I never got to see like a proper father figure growing up. Like, I just knew he was my dad, like I knew, but I never got to see that manly man being molded. You get, like, I didn't have a father the way I would want to, you know. So
Yeah.
now it's the questions of, am I ready to be a father? Am I ready to give these children something that I
don't
myself never got and
Yeah.
I never experienced? So it was like a place of like emotional, like that is when I was battling with all those things and where I come from. Will my bloodline come to haunt me? You know, things like that. Yeah. So it was a process for me to get used to it.
This man is a bit too deep because Akiani, his mind was racing. Me, I'm asking him,
yeah.
please react.
This one is excited.
Please, I need to know if we are happy or
Yeah.
if we are sad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was over the moon.
Excited,
I
yeah.
just could not believe that God had answered my prayer.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But now I am more excited than she is, definitely.
Yeah.
Like now I can't wait to see these people. Like I've not even seen them, but I feel like I'm missing them. Yeah.
So at the 6 weeks appointment, we found out that we had. Do you have a uterus? I had blood clots in my uterus.
Uterus, because we are one.
Amen. So I had blood clots in my uterus. And turns out it's actually something that's become very common. Apparently, every 3 out of 4 women experience the clots in the uterus, and they have to shrink them. So I had to go on medication for a whole month, and they were injecting me 2 very strong drugs. So they injecting me progestin, and the hormone that makes the test read as positive. That means that you're pregnant.
It's
So
something with
those
an
2
H.
hormones, is what they were injecting me, and that month and a half, because for me it took a while for the clots to go down, so they had to extend my treatment for 2 more weeks. Was crazy. I remember wondering, what is this? I could not keep anything down. I was throwing up.
Hard. Yeah, first trimester
I was
hard.
throwing up 3 to 4 times a day at least. So, and then also eating was hard, because you just imagine how you threw up earlier and you're like, I'm not putting anything in my mouth, if it means I'm gonna throw up.
Yeah.
And the worst part is, in as much as you don't eat, you'll still throw up, and there's nothing as bad as throwing up bile. Oh my God. So it was a really, really difficult first month. And I remember having to think about going for those shots because they were the most painful thing.
Yeah.
They were excruciating. And I remember him just holding my hand and trying to distract me. Look at the birds flying in the air. Luckily, where the nursing station was, we could see outside. So she'd open for us the windows. And then even her, she was injecting me, she's telling me, for this baby's vumilia too. I'm like, guy.
Yeah. No, that's her side of the first trimester. For me, it was a whole different story because, you know, like we had just gotten married. It was like a month and a half after our wedding, right? So I'm in that place of like, wait, me, I thought when we get married, we are coming to the house I'm going to be taken care of now. My job is to just come from work, sit down and lift my legs up, and I'm cooked for, taken care of, massage, nee. Like that is what I thought, right? And then now she's in a place where she needs me to step up. So now I have to get the whole idea of a married man should not cook, a married man should not wash dishes, nee. But and get into the space of, this is someone that I love and they need me to step up, and now like step up and accept that responsibility of running the house and taking care of her. So for me, it was like that transition. It was like from single, married, pap, we are pregnant. So now my mentality has to shift, right? So yeah, so that was what was hard for me. And then another thing that was harder even than that is to see someone that you truly love going through something that you can't help them with.
Yeah.
Because if it was something that I could help, like I could, but now I can't. All I can do is just when she's vomiting, I go and massage her back and tell her it's okay. When she's taking the shots, I just hold her hand and tell her I'll buy her ice cream. You know, just like trying to be there for her. Like that's all I could do. But to some point, like it was hard for me to see her go through what she was going through. Yeah.
No, he was really, really supportive because I couldn't stand any smell coming from the kitchen.
Yeah.
So like I couldn't even enter the kitchen. So
Yeah.
he'd cook for me. And I remember at that point the only thing I could keep down was white rice and bread.
Yeah.
Those were the only two things I would go down. Even water tasted funny.
Yeah.
So something they don't tell you or women don't talk about is that you get a really nasty taste in your mouth.
Yeah.
Some say it's a metallic taste. For me, I don't think it's metallic because I still have it up to now. But that was a bit hard because water is something you want to drink.
Yeah.
But no, I could not keep water down.
Yeah.
And then at some point, I started spitting. Oh my God.
Yeah.
This, I think, was like one of the worst
Yeah.
things I went through because at first I didn't even know how to deal with it. So I'd
Yeah.
tell him on the highway, stop the car, I spit.
Imagine.
And I remember telling myself, I will
Imagine.
never judge someone who is spitting on the road
Yeah.
because you don't know what's happening. I couldn't swallow that saliva. So what happens is when you're pregnant in the first trimester, there's something that happens that's called, I don't know, the saliva glands produce in excess. So like 2 seconds, you don't even notice like when you're swallowing saliva, but this one ilikuwa inaja kwa mdomo
Yeah.
in a way that even you can't talk, like your mouth is so you either tema or swallow, and it was not swallowable. It was just very swallowable English. So I remember now telling my mom sharing with a friend of hers, told her, mimi nilitema 9 months.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Then imagine, she was like, for 3 babies, 3 pregnancies,
Yeah,
9
I was
months.
like, I really pray that doesn't happen to me. So she taught me how to deal with it. So that she got me a container, taught me how to put in tissue and then spit. So I was walking around with a container,
We go to a restaurant,
open,
have a
spit,
container.
open in front of
Go to a
people.
function, have container.
It was so embarrassing,
Yeah,
but
it
at some point I got to realize that I'm not the only pregnant woman who's gone through this. And if anyone wants to shame me, by they sit in the corner.
Yeah.
I'm carrying my blessings, and if this is what we've got to do for it,
Yeah.
we're going to do it. And at some point, I think about 4 months, I spat for almost 4 months.
Yeah.
And then my mom told me, Grace, you're not spitting anymore. And
Yeah.
she's like, me, I've prayed and I believe that you're not going to walk around with this container until you're 9 months pregnant.
Yeah.
And one day she made me swallow that. I wanted to cry.
Yeah.
And
Imagine
so-
after that day, it just went.
Yeah, after like a week, I was done spitting. Like the
Yeah.
spitting reduced and ended.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think those were like the most crazy situations in
That
first
was
trimester.
crazy. No,
Uh-huh.
that was crazy.
Uh-huh.
And then we woke up one morning and we had a scare.
Oh my God, yeah.
You guys. So it's like 6 a.m. in the morning. She's woken up like she usually wakes up like 1,000 times in the night. And so she's woken up and she's talking to me, but I'm in my sleep, So she's talking, but I'm like, yeah, I know she'll finish and then she'll come back to sleep, right? So she tells me, wait, babe, I see blood. I'm like, okay, is that a bad thing? Then she's like, yeah, I think it is. So we had to call the doctors because we came to the bed, but there's really blood.
Oh
So,
yeah, by the way,
yeah.
it had also gone to the bed.
So we called our doctor because then we had just switched
Switched
doctors. So
doctors,
we
yeah.
called our doctor, he didn't pick up. Now our doctor. So I called our previous doctor. So when I called him, he told me, can you people rush to the nearest hospital, or to the hospital, a hospital that you wouldn't mind being admitted. in?
Yeah. So now we're already
So,
now
like,
scared. We're like,
What?
is it that
This
bad?
is yeah?
And so me, I'm there. I'm scared, but I'm like, I need to shower.
Yeah, I know.
My
Right?
husband's like, can you find whatever you can? Let's
Let's
go.
yeah. Hey, we got out of the house.
So we get out and we are driving, and he was driving like a madman. Like I was telling him, babe, we need to get there alive. Like, yes, this is a bit bad, but we kind of need to get
Yeah.
there alive for us to sort the problem out.
Yeah.
And I remember going there and they ran so many tests.
Yeah, I was just telling the devil, you've messed with the wrong family. Like,
Yeah.
you can't mess with my family.
Yeah. So my doctor's first prediction was that my cervix was giving in. which basically means that the pregnancy is at risk of coming out. So they did a test to check my cervix, they did some scans, and then it turned out that, hallelujah, thank you, Jesus, it was just one of the clots that was, that had, what is it called?
Yeah.
Ilikuwa imetoboka, ndio ilikuwa inakiria.
Yeah.
So my babies were fine, my cervix was okay. But I remember we were in hospital for nearly 7 hours. Akitulika hosi, tulitoka hosi saa 8. We got to hospital around 7. We left at like 2. It was a very traumatizing time. I remember my mom was there.
Yeah.
Even her, she was a bit going through a bit of crazy things. The day after having the roughest morning.
Yeah.
And I think after that,
they just give you more drugs.
Things,
but after
yeah. So they also they increased my medication, because now I was on medication, so it was increased.
Yeah.
And I took it for about another 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then after that, actually, the pregnancy has been very smooth.
Yeah.
It has just been smooth. I started nesting earlier than most pregnant women.
Oh yeah, she woke up one morning and she wanted to clean the house, the neighbor's house, the roof, everything, the floors, the corridors. Yani mpaka I'm like, hey wewe. And then anafanya hizo kazi zote mchana alafu usiku amechoka.
Yeah, I really nested. And surprisingly, apparently nesting can last hours, days, weeks. Mine didn't last too long. I think it lasted like a week and then I was done nesting.
Yeah.
Now I'm just waiting. We're just here like
waiting, but she wants to buy everything. So now I have to close her eyes when we go to places.
No, but it's a first time mom thing. You think you need everything. You need cushions, you need I don't know what.
Yeah.
You
We need a heater. Do you need a heater? The temperature.
Yes, we need a heater.
Oh, we need to
Please
clean the
tell
house
him in the
together.
comment section that you need a heater for when the baby is showering.
Sisi tulilelewa bila heater, bila baby cot, bila nini, and we turned out good. So
Sasa na watoto wawili watalala wapi bila baby cot?
watoto ni wa Mungu.
Watalala wapi? Anyway, so yeah. So basically after first trimester, we've just had a really smooth ride. We thank God. I've not experienced as bad as most pregnant women to go through it. I remember,
like, to be honest, if you cover her from here, you can't even tell she's pregnant, right?
Yay! I remember at her last doctor's appointment, she was really telling me, Grace, you really carried this pregnancy so well. Because a lot of people, even who are carrying a singleton pregnancy, are usually exhausted by the time they're where I am.
Yeah.
So it's just been God. Like, God has really carried us through. I haven't swollen like most people swell.
Yeah.
Like, just the small things that people take for granted or think everyone has to go through it.
Yeah.
My story is different, and I'm grateful that I've had him to walk this journey with me. He's been very supportive. Like, I don't even, I keep telling him, ningeolewa na mtu mwingine ningeteseka. But yeah, it's a good thing to be loved and to have someone who can take care of you and who can walk this journey with you.
Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. We need to go. Yeah.
Okay, please.
Yeah, we need to go. We need to go.
Okay.
Thank you so much for watching this video. Subscribe down below and hit the notification button. Please don't forget to leave a comment down below and ask whatever you want to ask and what you want to share.